Now recording.
Iconic.
Who's gonna introduce it?
I'm introducing it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Mitch's.
Yeah. This is my podcast tonight. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Rough Notes. This is Mitch. I'm also here with Marcus
Hey.
and Eduardo.
Bird up.
Bird up, bro.
I love the fact that we say this in every episode. I don't think it's ever been explained.
I don't think it needs to be.
You don't need explanations.
If you
I
know, you
guess not.
know.
If you know, you know.
All right, and today we are here to talk about Fall Out Boy. I guess some background. We were supposed to record this episode like a month ago, and then I was busy, and Eduardo was busy, and we were like supposed to record this episode, and then an episode about the new album. The new album's been out for like a month, so we hella late. That's fine. You won't even notice. But today we're here to talk about Fall Out Boy, and essentially we're going to be talking about all of their albums pre-hiatus. So that's Take This to Your Grave, From Under the Cork Tree, Infinity on High, and Folie à Deux. I also snuck a little bit of Evening Out with Your Girlfriend in there because I like that album. But basically, I made a kind of curated playlist of songs for Eduardo and Marcus to listen to, knowing that it would be a lot to ask them to listen through like 5 whole albums. So for each of the ones that are not Evening Out with Your Girlfriend, I took like the opening song of the album and then like maybe a single or two, and then just songs that like I enjoy and that sort of thing. And basically my kind of like theory, so I guess a little bit of extra background. Folie à Deux, when it came out, was like really hated on by Fall Out Boy fans. Like people didn't like it. They were like, nah, like this isn't Fall Out Boy, like you guys are sellouts, whatever.
Which album?
Folie à Deux, which is the red one, the last one.
Okay, haha. I just don't know how to pronounce it. I thought it was called Foley. Yeah, I thought it was Foley.
It is probably Folie à Deux. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I don't know. It's French. Whatever.
Okay, whatever. I'm sorry.
But kind of like my theory is like, in addition to like people saying the album sounded different, which I think, you know, compared to post hiatus Fall Out Boy, it really does not sound that different from their stuff released in that same time frame. I think there's like also kind of a major lyric shift where like the lyrics are like really like hateful or like kind of like mean towards maybe a love interest in the earlier albums, and then I think maybe like beginning in Infinity on High and definitely going into Folie à Deux, there's like more of like a like loving or like less hateful tone. And so that's kind of my take. I pulled some like lyrics from the songs I sent you guys to kind of like support that, but we could also just like talk about vibe and what you guys liked and what you guys hated. So I guess we'll start with Evening Out with Your Girlfriend. And for that album, I just sent you guys the 2 songs, and those songs were like Moving Pictures and Parker Lewis Can't Lose, but I'm going to give it my best shot.
I have a question real quick.
Yes.
What made you pick these?
These 2 songs?
Yeah, like or I guess just for all of them, so that this question doesn't keep coming out. Like, why did you choose these specific songs?
Yeah, so I don't remember if Moving Pictures is the first song off this album, but for all of the other albums, I took like the first song off the album that I was like, it kind of sets the tone. Okay, Moving Pictures is not the first. Oh, Moving Pictures is the second to last song. Moving Pictures, I just feel like, I don't know, like I vibe with it. I also feel like it, like out of the songs on that album, like supported my like it being like kind of hateful. And then Parker Lewis Can't Lose is my favorite song off of that album for Evening Out with Your Girlfriend. And then all of the other ones, you know, I took the first song off the album because I was like, that's like, I don't know, like tonally, if you were to listen to this album, like that's the first thing you would be hearing. And then, you know, picking singles, so like things that like are like kind of widely represented. Some of this like really big singles I like didn't pick. I don't know, because I was just like, not important. Like everyone will know this.
Mm. Okay.
And then like other like just like things to like support my hypothesis about like the like lyrically how the albums change kind of in addition to like tonally or sonically. And sometimes just like things that I was like, I vibe with this song, so we're gonna talk about it.
Okay, because that's how I took it. I perceived it as just like she just wants us to hear how the sound changed. I didn't pay too much attention to the lyrics as much as I would like any normal song, if that makes sense.
So back to Evening Out with Your Girlfriend. What did you guys think of like these first two songs? Did you like them? Did you not like them?
You want to go, Marcus? Because
I mean, you can kick it off, Eduardo.
okay, I thought they were cool. Nothing too crazy. This is kind of what I expected when you brought this up. Like,
This is what you thought they sound like.
yeah, this is like proto Imagine Dragons vibes.
I feel that. I feel that a lot.
I don't know how else to describe it. It just feels like a very like this is what the latest bands want to sound like if they want to go
Do you want to go
if they want to
viral?
go mainstream.
Yeah.
What?
It does sound like their most prototypical like pop version of them. I do agree. Like once I started going deeper into this, I started liking it more. I think it's because it started getting a little bit more experimental. But yeah, these two were not the ones I'd go back to in terms of if I'm looking for some shit to experiment to. I feel like these are very like reminiscent of like early 2000s rock melody introduced into like a Disney movie kind of vibe. If you catch my drift, Mitch.
Interesting. I just think like first of all, these first two songs to me, like they're just like badly recorded. Like they sound like they were recorded in a garage.
But that's just the style, though. It's the problem.
It's the style. Well, it's the style, but also they were like broke and not that big, right? So like who
Yeah.
knows where they were recording.
That's what I mean. Like this is what like if you want to be mainstream, this is what people want to try to emulate. They're like, no, we're just like the normal, typical kids, just making music.
in the back of our garage.
Yeah,
In the
but
back of our $2 million garage.
Some nepo babies.
it's kind of what it sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I guess like lyrically, so in moving pictures, we have where can I go when I want you around, but I can't stand to be around you. Go home, I'll walk myself to you, I'll walk myself away from here, and go to hell is all I thought for 7 weeks. Which like the go to hell is all I thought for 7 weeks. I'm like, oof, like ouch, owie. Like I don't want to be that person who you're like saying go to hell to. And then I don't know, like Parker Lewis Can't Lose, I feel like is like a more like melancholy than like hardcore kind of like hateful song. But I don't know.
Oh.
What?
I was gonna say. Now I know where that one line in the Gambino freestyle that he does on Hot 97 comes from, where he's like, "If Parker Lewis couldn't lose, I'm blocking out at Telegroup." Like I never knew
Well, I
what he
think
was referencing.
actually it's like a movie.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
So it's like it's not like an original Fall Out Boy thing. But the lyric in there that I think is interesting that I feel like I never caught was in the meantime just talking with my shoes, Converse with my Converse. And I was like, that's so clever. And in 30 years, no one's gonna know what Converse are.
No, we're gonna always know.
Wait, why?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with style.
Nah, some brands
I
live
feel like
forever.
I feel like that's like one of the brands that kind of have been like a staple to like the
The emo.
yeah, not necessarily emo, but like kind of like that, like the I don't know how to explain
Alternative
it.
scene.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the alt scene.
I was gonna say like emo, angsty, preppy, but yeah, I guess alternative is a better way to phrase it. Okay. Any other thoughts on that like EP?
Not really. I feel like most of it was kind of just what I expected, mostly because I've never listened to it really.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll go Take This to Your Grave next. This was the first official mainstream album that Fall Out Boy put out all the way back in 2003. And I was baby. I was like 6. I was not listening to this as like a 6-year-old. I listened to it a little bit later, but
You sure about that?
I'm pretty sure my parents were definitely not listening to this or playing it for me or my sister. So off of Take This to Your Grave, I selected the songs Tell That Mick That He Just Made My List of Things to Do Today, Grand Theft Autumn / Where's Your Boy? That's our like token single for this album. Chicago Is So 2 Years Ago, The Pros and Cons of Breathing, and then Calm Before the Storm. So I guess like what was your guys' like feel about like this album?
Eduardo.
For me, I'm pretty sure this was the one that I liked the most.
Oh yeah, it was up there for me too.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like. Yeah, it was definitely this one. Yeah, the Blue album.
The Blue album.
I don't know what it was, but I felt like this was the album for me that felt a little bit different than I don't know how to explain it, but it felt kind of like if I were to give you like the album that I would like consider in my mind what Fall Out Boy is, it was this one. It's like the best of their sound.
Interesting.
I don't know how else to explain it. My favorite one was the Pros and Cons of Breathing because it was so like I don't want to say like crybaby-ish, but they definitely gave off those vibes.
No, I dig that. I feel that.
Yo, so I was gonna add those are kind of my two favorite too. So my two favorite are Chicago is So 2 Years Ago and the Pros and Cons of Breathing. And it's funny, I feel like Fall Out Boy is what like is like how a lot of anime music, like a lot of anime intro music kind of has like a similar vibe to it, a very like progressive, ongoing, like adventurous, like rock kind of vibe to it. But in Japanese, I feel like Fall Out Boy is that, but just in English. Like for a lot of their tunes.
Yeah. No, you're right. I think that's why I liked it.
That is like such a funny take.
It sounded like American anime music.
Yeah. I will say, I feel like out of all of these albums, like if I had to pick a song, or like not pick a song, if I had to like pick an album to like play in the gym and work out to, it's like probably this album. It just goes really hard. Tell That Mick, that song always really stands out to me. So it's the opening song of the album. And the line, let's play this game called When You Catch Fire, I wouldn't piss to put you out. I'm like, holy shit. Like, that's cold as fuck. And then they also have Breaking Hearts has never looked so cool as when you wrap your car around a tree. And I feel like I don't like all of that. I'm like, damn, like some shit went down. And then, Grand Theft Autumn, not my favorite single off of this. I feel like it's like a really token single off of this though. I actually like Saturday a little bit more, and also maybe Dead on Arrival more than this one, but I don't know why. In hindsight, I was like listening back to this today to prepare for this podcast, and I was like, I don't know why I stuck that on there. I should have just gone with the one I liked more.
I was like, who hurt you, Mitch?
I don't know. Also, I don't know if I connected. Like, I feel like there's certain songs we'll get to later where, like, I heard the lyrics in them and I was like, this is me. Like, I feel this when I was, like, 11 years old, which it was like, do you feel that? Probably not. But then we also have in Chicago Is So 2 Years Ago, because every pane of glass that your pebbles tap negates the pain I went through to avoid you, and every little pat on the shoulder for attention fails to mention I still hate you.
Bars.
Yeah. I mean, it's some shit. The Pros and Cons of Breathing was, I feel like, one of the songs that stood out to me probably when I was like going through my like early listens of this album. But Yeah, I like that. Something also I didn't realize was ever that's like a whole other thing. Some of these lyrics, like I was reading them and I was like, that's what he says. Because I feel like sometimes I just throw stuff on for the vibe. But also Patrick is like so bad at enunciating certain parts of words, Patrick being the singer, that like it's like some of their songs like infamous for not being able to be heard correctly. But in the praise of constant breathing, the line that I never knew was being said, or I never like registered it being said, was if I could move, I'm sure it would only be to crawl back to you. I must have dragged my guts a block. They were gone by the time we talked. And I was like, that is some imagery. That is some fucking imagery.
So do you prefer, like, when it comes to Fall Out Boy, do you prefer the lyrics that are being said more than like than the vibes, like the actual music? Because maybe I should have paid attention more to lyrics, because to me I'm like, yeah, it's kind of like what I figured they'd sound like.
Yeah,
Should
I
I be
also feel
paying
like they're.
attention more to it?
I also feel like a lot of the times their lyrics do. Well, they can be very descriptive in nature. They do tend to fall into a certain bucket of, you know, melancholy about missed opportunities, about a romance or loved one.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like they're we'll get to this on the next album, which maybe we'll just jump there now. Which is from Under the Cork Tree. But the first song I like heard and like knew it was by them was like Dance Dance, which I feel like is like
Yeah,
not really like super emo. Like I don't it's a bop. It's just like a
it's
bop, it's a vibe.
not. It is.
Yeah, so I feel like that one, like being kind of like introduced and then like realizing that Thanks to the Memories was like by them later, like I feel like the first initial songs I listened to were not like as like emo, or like maybe I wasn't like super, I don't know. Well, maybe I was paying attention to the lyrics because I feel like that was like the thing you did in like 2007 or whatever. It was like you watched lyric videos on YouTube, or at least that's like
Hmm.
what I did.
Yeah, maybe that's what you did, Mitch. Maybe you were paying attention to the lyrics in 2007. I can assure you that I, on the other hand, kind of was, but like obviously not that much, because like
Yeah.
you know I enjoyed it. So
I don't know. I feel like it's like a mix of the sound and the words and like 12-year-old me being in love with Pete Wentz.
wait, when are they Patrick and when are they Pete?
Patrick is the singer who you think is Pete. Pete is the guy with like the emo hair who was like married to, is it Ashley Simpson? And then they
Okay,
got
so
divorced.
Patrick is the one that sings. Got it.
Yes. And Pete writes most of the lyrics.
Oh, so Patrick is the one that sings, but Pete is the one that writes most of the lyrics. Okay, so Pete's responsible for the lyrics.
Yeah, it's like a weird relationship where it's like Pete's like I can't sing, so I write lyrics and then Patrick sings.
Okay.
But yeah, so I guess like upon first listens, like I don't know. I feel like I always, if I'm like really acutely listening to an album, I am like kind of listening musically first, and then I guess like listening to lyrics second, but like sometimes stuff will jump out at me like lyrically as I'm listening, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Mm.
But anyways, I guess I kind of like jumped us into From Under the Cork Tree, but did anyone have any last thoughts on Take This to Your Grave? I know Eduardo, this was like your favorite.
I don't think so. I think this is just kind of what I got attracted to the most in this one, because it felt more like the iconic. Okay, Mitch, is this the one that like had them break out as like the superstar group, or was it a different one? Because I would.
Feels like from
The
under, no?
I feel like Take This to Your Grave like kind of got them there. From Under the Cork Tree and Infinity on High are kind of like their two bigger albums pre-hiatus, but like I would still say like this kind of broke them out of like the Chicago punk scene a little bit.
They're from Chicago.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they were from Chicago. I actually never knew where they were from.
That was like my childhood dream, was to like go to Chicago and I guess see them in concert. And then I did that.
You did it?
I did do that, and I'm doing it again.
Was it
But
worth it?
anyways,
Oh,
yes, it was like weird circumstances where I was supposed to see them in New York, and then they did not play in New York because somebody in their like team got COVID.
no, boo-hoo.
And then I was at my job, and like somebody sent out an email being like, I have 2 free tickets to the Chicago show that I don't know how I acquired that I don't want. And I was like,
I don't know how I acquired.
he
Hmm.
literally was like, he was like, I somehow won these. I don't recall ever entering a contest.
Well,
Like, I
that
have no
sounds
interest.
shady as hell.
I mean, the tickets worked.
I have no idea how I got this money.
I don't know how I got these JIT tickets. All I know is
Never been shit, never had shit, never out, never knew shit. Damn.
I feel like I don't think he charged me for them, but I was like, the dude totally could have just been like, I have 2 tickets that I am selling. Like, he didn't need to be like, I got them for free and I didn't know how. Like, he could have totally just been like, I'm selling 2 tickets. Is anyone interested? And I probably still would have bought them if it was like a crazy amount of money.
now. Have you told anyone about you liking Fall Out Boy?
No, or so so off topic. My old job had like interest groups you could declare yourself a part of. And so like you could like, go to somebody's like page in the directory and then like see what they were interested in and then like click on one of the groups and then see who else was in that group. So like there was just like a Fall Out Boy interest group that I was in. And so like he emailed like all of the people in that group and then I think all of the people in like the Weezer group because they were like also playing. But anyways,
Hmm.
they're from Chicago. I'm saying we are moving on to from under the cork tree.
Damn, they are from Chicago.
You thought I was lying?
No, you thought I was feeling you?
Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna move on to from under the cork tree. Marcus, I feel like you keep making Eduardo go first. So Marcus, what did you think?
Oh no! Oh, about from under the cork tree.
Yes.
Well, I mean, like obviously this has one of my favorite songs on it from Fall Out Boy in Dance Dance. I don't know. I feel like that song and then Our Lawyer Made Us Change the Name of the Song so we don't get sued are my favorite. One because of the whole like trivia game that we tried to make, and then had the answers come out wrong. But two because I like how upbeat it is. I like the nice vibe. So I mean, I feel like those are my 2 go-to ones. I guess I like it more when Fall Out Boy is a little less emo and a little more dancey. I guess and you can dance more to them. What did you think, Eduardo?
All right, this album for me felt like it was heading in a good direction. I was like, okay, so now they're like doing more like poppy sounds.
Hmm.
But after Dance Dance, I got kind of bored of it.
Oh,
This album to me was like the disappointing one because it started off good. I'm like, okay. So like they're no longer crying. Now they're like having more fun with it, and then I realized I'm like, I don't want them to have fun. I want them to cry again. This is I don't like that they're happy. It was kind of. I will say, the last like 2 songs, I was like, all right, let me just skip to the second verse. Okay, let's go on to the next
damn.
one.
Damn. This album is like a solid album for me. I will say, like, out of like all of these, like, not including the EPs, so kind of like the main 4 that we're talking about, like, it's very hard for me to like pick one and be like, that's my favorite album. I feel like maybe because I like did not experience listening to them as they were like coming out. So I feel like as I started listening to like more Fall Out Boy, I believe most, if not all of these albums were like already out. And so I was kind of like exploring them like in my own time.
Mm.
And so I feel like that makes it hard for me to like pick a favorite just because I was like doing mass consumption all at the same time. I like probably like the Our Lawyer Made Us Change the Name of the Song so we wouldn't get sued is like the title track. And then I feel like I like that song, like it's good, but I feel like I like it considerably or like definitely less than like all of the other songs that I picked here for this one, which I guess I didn't say what we had. So we have that one, Dance Dance. I slept with someone in Fall Out Boy, and all I got was this stupid song written about me. Iconic title, obsessed. A little less 16 Candles, a little more Touch Me, and then Get Busy Living or Get Busy Dying. So I definitely, those like last four, I'm like, these are solid songs. These are like go-tos. Dance Dance was like, I remember watching the music video for this only because like my sister was like looking at, she was just like watching music videos or whatever on YouTube. But I was like sitting next to her as like you do as a younger sibling when you're like, it's like 2005, 6, whatever. I don't know, 2007 probably. And your older sibling gets to use the home computer before you do. But because you're a younger sibling, you decide to sit next to them the entire time and try to get them to do what you wanted.
Damn. Tell us how you feel.
Tell us how you feel.
Yeah, so Dance Dance was like a suggested video, and so of course my sister like was watching her video, and I was like, click on that one, click on that one.
Wait, so were you introduced to Fall Out Boy by your sister?
No, I don't think she knew the song either. It was like literally me seeing the name of like a music video called Dance Dance, and I was like, ooh, that sounds fun. I want to listen to that one. And like that was it. It was like literally by chance
The
that
rapper.
I got into them.
Wait, so so was this like your introduction to Fall Out Boy just by randomly clicking on Dance Dance?
Yes.
Damn.
Which I guess is like wild for like how much like media I've consumed related to. I mean, I guess like I definitely, Thanks to the Memories was played on the radio a lot, and I definitely liked that song, but like, it was like the 2000s, and so like nobody's car told you like the name of this song or artist playing on the radio. So like I never knew who was singing this song. And I guess I never bothered to look it up. But when I like kind of like connected the dots between like Dance Dance and Thanks to the Memories, then I was kind of like, oh, and then I like really started listening to more stuff. But I don't know if I would have listened to more stuff if I had like just only known Dance Dance or like only known Thanks to the Memories. But yeah.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Why in this album particularly do they have the longest names for songs?
It was just like
It was the vibe back then, right?
I could not explain it to you. It was just like the thing. I feel like also like Panic at the Disco did it a little bit. I assume Fall Out Boy was like doing it first. But that was just like the vibe. I don't know. Like I kind of also like that though. Or I like that like all of the song titles are like not just like what's sung in the chorus. Like obviously Dance Dance is, and I think Where's Your Boy from the previous album is. But I like that like this song, I don't know. I guess it feels more like poetry or whatever, where like you can like think about the title and then like also think about like
I
what's
went
said in the
fishing and
song.
all I caught was my tax bills. That one goes hard in the paint, Eduardo.
And fishing? Like PH?
I
Fishing?
went
Tax
fishing and
bills?
all I caught was my tax bills.
So because you know how you can like fish people to like give you their SSN?
Yeah,
Oh
of
my
course.
god.
Damn. That's a bar.
This is fall what we're talking about. Always a step ahead.
Yeah. I guess to wrap up this album, talking about some of the lyrics, in our lawyer made us change the name of the song so we didn't get sued. We're only liars, but we're the best. We're only good for the latest trends, and we're only good because you have almost famous friends.
Hard.
In Dance Dance, the iconic line of "Why don't you show me the little bit of spine you've been saving for his mattress? I only want sympathy in the form of you crawling into bed with me," which I'm like, ooh, the pining.
Ew.
Wait, run that back. Run those lines back one more time. I don't think they heard you.
Why don't you show me the little bit of spine you've been saving for his mattress? I only
Damn.
want sympathy in the form of you crawling into bed with me.
God damn.
Hella
Gross.
pining.
Hey, are these people in trouble for some sort of allegations or something or no?
Not that I know of.
No, Eduardo. We have 5 to 10 more years before that happens, so we're chilling for now.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
because I don't know, these lyrics be sounding a little sus.
We're chilling for now, Eduardo. 5 to 10, baby. Okay.
That's how much they're gonna get.
And I slept with someone in Fall Out Boy, and all I got was a stupid song written about me. Douse yourself in cheap perfume. It's so fitting of the way you are. You can't cover it up. So like, you stuck as a person, and like,
That's a Pusha T rhyme.
yeah.
Mm.
I think they're up for IG, but the stench is on her.
Yeah, a little less 16 candles, back to the pining. You're just the girl all the boys want to dance with, and I'm just the boy who's had too many chances. The thing that I was like, I relate to this as like, I don't like a 10-year-old or whatever. I don't blame you for being you, but you can't blame me for hating it.
Snap, 10-year-old Mitch.
Yeah. In Get Busy Living and Get Busy Dying, this also has like the like spoken wordy thing by Pete Wentz at the end, which we kind of got like an homage to in their new album that came out very recently, which I was like, yes, I vibe.
Mitch loves herself a good spoken wordy thing.
Oh, I do. But I used to obsess over living. Now I only obsess over you, being like a line that's like, ugh. And then also, very emo. Now talking is just a waste of breath, and living is just a waste of death. It's like, owie, get some therapy. All right, I guess now we'll move on next to Infinity on High. What was your guys' like thoughts on this album?
Well, I mean, I'll kick it off by saying, thank you for helping me find the name of this song from, I think, a racing game that I used to play. Because it went hard, and I was always like, oh, I wish I knew the name of that song, but I didn't. But now I know it's This Ain't the Scene, it's an arms race. And yeah, it's, I don't know, it feels way more poppy than normal, but also way more, I don't know. I fuck with it more. I fuck with it more than a lot of Fall Out Boy tracks. Which I'm not sure how Mitch will take that. I feel like, because I feel like at its core, it's not core Fall Out Boy. I like that. I like Golden, and I liked Fame is a less than infamy quite a bit. I guess all for different reasons. What were your thoughts on these tracks, Eduardo?
Oh man, Mitch is gonna hate me, but this album was mid. I was like
Man.
30 seconds into each song, and I was like, "Oh no, bro, this." Ah, so I just started skipping through. This ain't a scene. It's an arms race. Was probably the. Oh, hold on. So the songs we're talking about right now is Thriller. This ain't a scene. It's an arms race. Hallelujah, Golden, and Fame. Less than infamy.
Yes. Yep.
This ain't a
That's fair.
scene. It's an arms race. Was probably the only song that I like was trying to listen through all the way. But this, I was like, bro, I need them to be sad again. It's so straight. It's kind of messed up to say, but I'm like, these people cannot write happy songs. They just got to go back to crying. But I feel like that's just some artists. Some art like when people were like, oh, The Weeknd's making poppy stuff, and then when he like breaks up with his girlfriend at the time, he releases like the bangers. That's kind of how I
I
start
need
feeling about
Eminem on
them.
codeine. I need Eminem on
Damn.
codeine again.
I'm like, bro, I don't think I could do this anymore. They're too happy.
No,
I just
no
need to
thoughts on
skip around.
the like Jay-Z opening on Thriller.
Okay, yes. I put on Thriller, and this dude was just talking out of nowhere. I didn't know it was Jay-Z, but I'm like, who is this guy trying to sound like a rapper? Why is he talking like DJ Drama, like opening up albums? This is so whack. And I realized it's Jay-Z, and I'm like, maybe this is why I never really liked Jay-Z. Because he's been doing this stuff on a Fall Out Boy album. Oh, yeah, this album for me was like really tough to get through these 5 songs. I was like, oh, bro, just please
Man.
let's make it end.
Damn, Mitch, how you feel? How you feeling about that?
I mean, a part of me is like, I kind of respect it. I don't know. I feel like I was like nervous, like going into this, being like, what if they hate everything? Which, like, obviously, right now, after talking for like 30 plus minutes, one is like not the case, but two, I'm also just like, I don't know, like people like this isn't what you guys usually listen to, so I'm like, whatever. I feel like you're not being like disrespectful about it, so I'm like, I respect that. I respect that opinion.
So far, I've liked the first two section, like the first two albums, more than the next two.
Okay. Noted. Noted. Yeah, I definitely This Ain't a Scene, It's an Arms Race is a fucking bop. Also, the music video for this, like they like fully allude to the fact that Pete Wentz's nudes were leaked. They fully made like it's like a central part of this whole music video. And I was like, what? I was like, the audacity of this man to like just like not be embarrassed about his nudes being leaked and then like put it in a music video.
Well, I mean, if they're gonna be out there, might as well capitalize on them.
Yeah. I mean, you don't actually like see anything in the video, but it's just like a wild
Give the people what they want, Mitch. Okay,
just like
okay.
a wild concept. The other thing that sticks out to me about this album, which Marcus, I was like a little bit surprised you said you liked this song, which is Golden,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like it's like the only like in my mind like real ballad they've like ever written where like it's super stripped down, right? Like it's basically like the piano and just like Patrick's voice.
I mean, hey, sometimes that works. Normally, for me, when it works, is in Japanese. But hey, if there was gonna be a group that it did work for, it would be the American anime intro music group.
Intro
So
people.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
It would make a ballad I liked.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like other things. So Thriller's the opening song. That's why this is on here. Hallelujah. I just love the line, I thought I loved you, but it was just how you looked in the light. Because I'm like, oof, damn. More shitting on people.
I too have made mistakes in a bar.
Yeah. And then like in that same song, I love you in the same way. There's a chapel and a hospital, one foot in your bedroom and one foot out the door. Like, oh, like I would only consider like marrying you if you were like sick and dying. Then like maybe. But like otherwise,
Seems like a fair trade to me.
yeah. Wild, wild things. In Fame versus Infamy.
Oh, that's a versus. That's not a less than.
Oh no, it's not a verse. It's late. It's late, y'all. Fame is less than Infamy. I feel like maybe I like register this line, but never really like thought about it too hard. But I'm addicted to the way I feel when I think of you. It's too much green to feel blue, which is like interesting. Like I don't like I'm too envious of you to be like sad about you. Which I feel like is also interesting. Golden, just super, super emo vibes, I saw God cry in the reflection of my enemies, and all the lovers with no time for me, and all of the mothers raise their babies to stay away from me. Which is also like I don't know, just like feeling like a monster, a bad person, like sad, sad vibes. So I will say people generally regard this album and then the album before it from Under the Cork Tree as like god tier Fall Out Boy albums. Like it's the
God
best
tier,
of the
baby.
best.
Now, does that mean God tier in terms of they made the most sales, or God tier as in that is like their magnus opus?
Critical acclaim.
I feel like those are probably their best selling albums, question mark. I would have to like do some Googling to confirm that. But also like the fan, like I feel like if you like surveyed 100 Fall Out Boy fans, depending on like when they were born, a lot of people are probably going to list one of those two albums as their favorite album.
Now, would that then make me a Fall Out Boy hater if those were my least favorite albums?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. And Marcus was so quick to just say yes.
Hatred running through your veins. We can smell it.
No, I don't think so. Because I also feel like people. So like we're about to get to folly. I always say folly, but I guess it
Fully
is folly.
do.
Folly,
Fully do. Fully do.
folia do. Like people, like I kind of said, like people were not happy about this album. So I think the fact that you're like, I don't know. I feel like you could argue the fact that you're like, take this to your grave was like the cream of the crop. You're just like a Fall Out Boy purist, and you're like, they've been bad ever since.
Mm-hmm. Ever since they got happy.
Damn, ever since Pete Wentz went on medication for his mental health.
Yeah, no, get him off that shit.
Get him off that
Now.
shit.
I need that
For
Kanye
us,
energy back.
Feet, do it for us. For the
No,
fans.
no,
Do
I
it for
want
the
him to live
fans.
a long and happy life.
No. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. You know.
Yeah,
Now, not sure Drake changed his stance on that. It's like, I want a long life, a legendary one. But,
yeah. All right, so we'll get to Folie à Deux then. So on this album, before I get your opinions, we have Disloyal Order of the Water Buffaloes, Head First Slide into Cooperstown on a Bad Bet, the in parentheses shipped exit or close parentheses Golden Standard, totally in parentheses coffees for closers, 27, and What a Catch, Donnie. So I guess Eduardo, since I feel like you're gonna say this is your least favorite. I guess we'll go to you first.
Wait, this isn't my least favorite.
Oh wait, what was your
it's
least favorite one?
mine. But you go,
My
Eduardo.
least favorite was the Infinity on High.
Oh, okay.
This is just like, I think this one is like somewhere in the middle. It has my favorite song from them, which is What a Catch, Donnie.
Ooh, I like that one too.
When I heard that one, I was like, oh damn, what the? And then some random dude just started doing like country singing, like somewhere in the middle. I'm like, what's going on? I feel like they just kind of went like a little insane on that song, so I kind of like it the most. Funny enough, this album also has the worst song, which is the slide into Coopersville or whatever.
Okay, no, now I'm offended. You take that back.
Dude,
No,
I don't know
stand on
what
it.
it was. Hold up. I might be lying. I don't know if it's that one or the gold standard one.
No, I like Gold Standard.
I will let you hate on Gold
Head First
Standard.
is the slow one. Yeah, no, that's the gold standard. I like the two slow songs from here, which is the Head First Slide and What a Catch, Donnie. It felt like it was different.
Okay, I give you
And
my respect that back because the vocals on Head First Slide into Cooperstown, like batshit crazy, just batshit crazy. Patrick's vocals on that. But anyways, back to you, Eduardo.
yeah, so I'm feeling a little conflicted misusing my influence. Sometimes, you did the same kind of stuff for this album because it has my favorite song and it has my least favorite song from this whole playlist you sent us. So I don't know what to think about this album. And then the title's a little weird. I don't know how to pronounce it. I feel like I'm gonna sound dumb if I try to pronounce it. So I just
It's
kept
okay.
calling it the Red Album in my mind.
I sounded dumb trying to pronounce it, so
Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's I don't want to give it a number because I didn't listen to the full album. But from what I saw, I liked like half of the songs from this album, and the other ones were kind of like eh, except for the gold standard one. That one was like, oh, bro. I don't know what, like, I was listening to it for like 20-25 seconds, and then I skipped around. I'm like, oh man, this is going to be one of those albums again. Then I went for Coffee for Losers, and I'm like, it's okay. And then What a Catch, Donnie. How that one brought me back.
Marcus, what did you think?
Oh, what did I think? You want to know what Marcus J. Plenty thinks about the record?
Yeah, I want to know what the
Well,
MJP thinks.
yeah, I mean, J isn't my middle initial. But yeah, I mean, I like the gold standard and I like What a Catch, Donnie. I am the duality of Eduardo. You know, I am his likes and dislikes wrapped into one. That's all I really gotta say. I mean, other than that, don't have too much to say about other songs on this album, although I'm sure Mitch will have a ton.
Oh my god. Okay, wait, what like how did you feel about this album compared to like their other albums then?
Mm, I
It's like
feel like
mid.
yeah. Like I feel like the highs weren't as high, but the lows weren't as low.
Yeah. So this album this album like
Whoa.
why?
This just sounded like some ChatGPT talk. Well, the bad songs are kind of bad, the good songs are good.
Marcus is typing into ChatGPT what he should say on this podcast. Yeah, this album was the first album I think I ever owned and like ever listened to all the way through like fully. So I think a lot like how I began discovering stuff was like through like music videos and kind of like their singles or whatever on iTunes at the time because I had an iTunes.
Damn, you bought music?
What?
You bought music back in the day?
I did.
Hey.
I was a good kid. My friends claim that they can't invite me to a heist because I have too much anxiety.
Good kids, Mitch City.
Yeah.
Facts.
But this was like the first album I ever owned by them, and like not like on purpose. Like I think I like went to like I don't know like the FYE or like Target or Barnes and Noble, whatever in my mall, like trying to buy an album, and this was like the only one they had, which was probably like reflective of like the time that I was like buying the album. This was like the most recent album put out. So that's like what I got the CD of. I don't think I liked it like too much at first, but it really grew on me. I also Eduardo talked about this in like a prior episode where he was like, "This was my I don't know if it was like your most listened song or whatever because it was like your alarm clock."
Mm-hmm.
But I had like a CD player radio alarm clock, and so like for a long time, like this was the CD in that alarm clock. So I like got a lot of listens to this.
Wait, so is this your favorite album?
I don't know. Don't ask me.
It's just your most listened to.
It probably is my most listened to all the way through. I don't have any data to back that up because it was like not playing on like something that extracts data. But it like could be my favorite. I like want to say it's my favorite, but then I'm like, oh, like I don't know, like this song and like that song and the other album, and it's just a huge thing.
Wait, so sorry that I keep questioning you, but you said that fans were not a fan of this album, but it's a contender for your favorite album.
Yes.
So are you a real
keep
fan?
questioning you about this, but that sounds like a name of one of their songs.
Oh, it's also the name of one of their songs. Okay, well here's the thing. I think that like okay, I don't know. I know for sure what my least favorite album is, and it's none of these. It's one that came out later. But like I feel like if you were like truly a real fan of them, or I feel like people don't like this album because like they changed sonically. And I'm like, that is what a like music artist is supposed to do. Sure, like I like their style of like older albums, but like that's why those albums exist. I can go back and listen to them if that's like what I want to be listening to. Like I don't want like some alternate universe of like Fall Out Boy where they just like remade from Under the Cork Tree like 8 times. You know?
Mm-hmm.
No, I wanted to slowly and progressively move out from under this cord tree. Never truly ever escaping, but always making forward progress. Like
Yeah.
999 out of the cord tree. Type of vibes.
Oh my god. What a time.
What a time to be alive.
But that's from the new album. We didn't get there yet. Just kidding. Yeah, I don't know. Like I like a lot of the songs on this album. Head First Slide into Cooperstown is just like I already kind of was just like that one goes hard. Like the vocals crazy as shit. Patrick's vocals are just like bonkers. The Shift Golden Standard was like one of the ones where I feel like lyrically it spoke to me when I was like a kid. The lyrics, I want to scream I love you from the top of my lungs, but I'm afraid that someone else will hear me, which like who was I relating that to in my life? absolutely nobody. But I was like, oh, that's me.
Wait, so how do you get into them if they weren't like speaking to you? You know?
Well, they were. That's my point. Is I was like I feel like I'm like listening to these songs as a young kid. I was like, oh, I relate to this song. But it's like realistically, like, was I in that type of situation? Like, no. Okay, or maybe I was, but it was like not like a very like it was like, oh, I had a crush on somebody, and like I can't tell them I have a crush on somebody. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing.
Oh, the good old crush.
Yeah.
You my orange soda shorty.
Did you say you my orange soda shorty?
Yeah.
Oh my god. You my orange soda shorty. You my orange.
Damn. 27 was also something I really connected with, which like I feel like this like has to allude to the 27 Club question mark, and like there's I don't know if there's like actually been like any truth or like any like concrete evidence of this, but there's like a lot of speculation that like Pete Wentz like thought he was like bound to commit suicide and like join the 27 Club, essentially. Like he did not think he was gonna like make it past 27.
I mean, who among us really thinks we are?
We were supposed to make us 25.
Oh yeah, joke's on you, we still alive, baby. Let's go.
But also just like the opening line to that being if home is where the heart is, then we're all just fucked. I think is like it's just like a powerful line and something that like I think about a lot. Or like I don't know, like if you grow up in a place where like you don't like your home, or like didn't have like the best childhood or whatever, you know, like I think about that, and like the sentiment of like, well, if that's supposed to be like what keeps me going, or like what makes my life better, then like I am fucked, right? Like I don't have that. But I also feel like I feel like they don't curse like so much in a lot of their songs. Like I don't know if they've maybe, I'm trying to think of like another time they've said fuck, and I feel like maybe on like one other instance, but I like can't think of the actual song. I do want to also talk about What a Catch Downey. So I guess that was like more of the single that I took from this album to share with you guys. It is like more ballady, but still like not as much of a ballad as like Golden is to me. And I just probably what Eduardo was saying, where he was like, I heard some country guy. They had different artists like come on this song and like sing old versions of like lyrics from like their songs. So I think they reference like This Ain't a Scene, It's an Arms Race. They reference Dance Dance. They reference Ooh, Thanks for the Memories. They reference Growing Up, which we didn't listen to. But and they reference Sugar We're Going Down. So it's just like a lot of like artists that like came on the album to do this song. I feel like also like the vibe of this song, as somebody who like was a fan, right? Like they put out this album with this song on it that like pays homage to a bunch of other songs they've written. And then they were like, we're going on an indefinite hiatus, and like maybe we'll be back, but maybe we won't be. And it was just like, holy shit, like was this like intentionally the last album?
Goddamn.
This one that went in 2008, the Red album.
Yeah, like it's like they've put out more stuff since then, but it was like they like went on a hiatus. I was like crushed. I was unbelievably crushed, mostly because like when I was like in middle school, my dad was like, "Oh, they're playing at Madison Square Garden. Do you want to go?" And I was like, "Nah, like I'm too young." Which like what? Why? Why did I say that? And then like you know, like they announced they were going on hiatus. But it's okay, now I've seen them, like, 5 times, and I'm, like, going more. So life lesson. I was like, "Now I can never miss another opportunity to see them ever again."
That's because now you're old enough.
Which
Yeah.
is like I would sacrifice my firstborn to see them again.
I would go that far. I feel like I've seen them. I don't know, like, I feel like I've seen them enough times where somebody was like, "If you go to one more, like, ill will befall you and your kin." I would be like, all right," like,
You wouldn't go, or you'd still go.
I feel like I wouldn't go. It would depend on the
A lot of
concert.
thinking.
Yeah, a lot of thinking.
It would depend on the concert. If they released a new album,
What if
then
it's like
yeah, it would.
Madison Square Garden and it's like front row tickets, front row seats with backstage access? But if you do go, then your kid gets like 20 years taken off their life.
What the fuck? I don't even know if I'm gonna have. What if I have no kid?
Then you get like 10 years taken off your life.
I'd probably do that.
You probably do what? You probably go.
I don't think I don't know. Like I have no desire to be old.
Oh, I never said they get taken off the I never said they would get taken off the end.
Like you just aged 10 years.
Oh my god, that's like actually horrifying. That's like way more horrifying to me than like
Everybody
that.
always assumes, oh, get taken off the end, right? Nope. We want that
Okay,
shit in the
then
middle.
then I would like reconsider.
What if you just start forgetting like every other year? Like you don't remember what you were doing when you were 4 or 6 or 8, like all the even numbers you don't have anymore.
That's interesting. I think that's less bad. I feel like that's like, can you imagine going from like I don't like 50 to 60 or 60 to 70? This is so off topic. This is so long. This podcast is so long. We're gonna get back on topic. Okay. Yeah, so I guess back to the lyrics. So this is the album where, I said like things like I feel like it's like the most poppy sounding album. Even though I listen to this, I'm like, is this pop music? Like, would I classify this as pop music? And I feel like the answer is no. But I feel like the lyrics like also shift. So like in that first song we have so boycott love, detox just to retox, and I'd promise you anything for another shot at life. So that like I don't know why like boycott love, detox just to retox like always sticks out to me because it's just like I tried not to fall in love and I like tried to get rid of it, but then it like came back to you know.
Cancel culture.
Mm.
Because when I heard boycott love, to me it sounds like when people say we're gonna cancel culture.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. Because you can sometimes love just like smacks you in the face and you're like, ah shit.
Nah, boycott it.
Yeah, just boycott it. Just boycott it, just stop
No
being
more
and depressed.
love. No more love.
Yeah. And then head first slide into Cooperstown. I don't want to be a footnote in someone else's happiness, which I feel like that one is like a really big shift from like all of the pining in like the prior albums here where it's like no like I'm standing up for myself like a little bit more and like I want something actually meaningful. How that fits in with the rest of this song where it sounds like they're cheating with somebody because
Mhm.
does your husband know the way that the sunshine gleams from your wedding band? And I oop.
Damn.
So
Goddamn.
Maybe I need to listen to the actual words, Mitch. You should have told me that because I was just listening for the vibes. I wasn't catching the bars.
sorry, Eduardo. Now you have to go back and listen to the words, or maybe you just won't.
I'll listen to a few of the albums. I like the first ones, and the red one was okay. I'll take another listen at the red one.
Fallen
Okay.
Dew.
Yeah, the madness of two, or like the shared madness of two? Question mark. Copies for closers. In that one, oh baby, when they made me, they broke the mold. Girls used to follow me around, then I got cold. Which I feel like also like an overbearing of confidence compared to like the last couple of albums. This song also features just the lyric of like I will never believe in anything again, sung a bunch of times over and over. Which I feel that. I feel that deep in my soul. And then back in 27, I talked about the opening line, but also like part of the chorus is my body is an orphanage, we take everybody in. Which I also feel is like a person sometimes that I don't know, like that like not making space for yourself and like taking on too much of other people and that sort of thing. So I don't know. I feel like it just like it there was like a lot less pining in this album and of like the sad like emo like woe is me like unrequited love type of thing and just like more confidence and positivity. But yeah. Any final thoughts?
I feel like I gave out my thoughts. I don't think I got anything else to say. I even said like I think I might just re-listen back to the words on some of the albums because some of them are bars.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm with Eduardo. Some of these are definitely some keepers. Gotta re-listen for some deeper lyric analyses. And, hopefully maybe even find a sample or two in there.
Yeah. All right. I guess that brings us to the end of today's episode. I don't know if we're gonna do a deep dive into like their more recent album in the next episode, maybe in a later episode, just because I feel like it was like a lot of Fall Out Boy talk in this one.
I feel like we have to, because it's kind of like the Avengers movie. Like, we can't talk about all the Avengers movies and then not talk about the big one. You know?
Yeah, for the viewers, Mitch. For the viewers.
For the viewers. Yeah, we're skipping the 3 albums in between this
Okay,
one. And,
okay. Just really quickly, why not those 3?
they were post-hiatus albums, and I feel like actually, so we'll get into this more on like the next episode probably, but like so they took a hiatus, right, for like several years, came back, and then like put out 3 more albums. And I would argue that like I guess like maybe not the first album, but definitely the second album in that set of like post-hiatus albums, like really, I almost feel like it was like made more so for like mainstream media and maybe like less for themselves and the fans. And so like I feel like to the core of like understanding Fall Out Boy, you like really need to listen to like this set of albums, and like that later set of albums is like less important. And the newer album sonically is like what we would have expected to happen like in that hiatus period, even though they like sent it out so many years later. So that was kind of the reasoning. I feel like that the main reasoning is that like yes, sonically they're like having released the 3 post hiatus albums like does contribute to that more recent album, but I feel like to understand the core of Fall Out Boy, you need like these 4 albums. So that was why, and I didn't want to make you guys listen to like all 7.
Geez, let's choose like three from each.
Nah.
Or do you feel like now we got to get like a good amount of for each to really get the story, to really get the Infinity War?
I feel like I'm fine with just skipping it. Like I like because I feel like we've also like I've peppered in like songs here and there. I feel like from, or at least from Mania. I don't know. I'm just like not the biggest fan of American Beauty, American Psycho, but I think we can talk about those albums later. We're just full sending all the way.
All right.
Anyone have anything they would like to plug?
Okay, yeah. So I am Marcus Plenty. You can find me at Plenty Marcus on Instagram, or Plenty Marcus on TikTok, or Shuriken's Crew on TikTok or Instagram, or on Spotify if you're into that Shuriken's Crew music. But yeah, those are all the places you can find me, at least that I know of.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, there might be more places. I don't know.
Yeah. Eduardo, you got anything you want to plug?
Not yet. One more month, and then I can start plugging in like my streaming and stuff. But still gotta survive just like 40 more days.
I guess I'll drop my Instagram in the description, but I won't say it out loud. If you want to follow me, you gotta put in the work. It's also, I mean, it's just not as like easy as Marcus is like his name. Mine is not that easy. So, but yeah, all right. Have a good night, everybody.
All right, Berto.
Good.